Hello YouTube, it is a Beatus bringing you a UU tier match against some guy from the Smogon Battlefinder. Yeah. I lead off with my Ambipom, as does he. I just go for a fake out hoping for a speed tie if we are the same speed. I'm faster this turn, I get the fake out off. And Life Orb, Stab, Technician, fake out does more than half. And I stayed in, and I go for the return, but I forgot that trading Pokemon lowered resets their happiness, so a turn does absolutely nothing. And he goes for the double hit, which easily KOs me. So I send out my Swampert, just because I know that I'm a defensive ball. He can't touch me. And he U-turns. And what is he supposed to do? And do his Sharpedo as I set up rocks. Now, I know this thing can't touch me, just like a lot of Pokemon. So I just go for the Toxic, so that way this thing won't stay in and sweep my team. He goes for the Crunch, which doesn't do that much. Decent chunk, but it'll be a 3-8 KO. Anyways, I get the Toxic off, get some lefties, and I just go for the Earthquake. As well. Oh my goodness. I need to slow down. He goes with a Stab Waterfall, trying to get the flinch, I'm assuming. But that does a nice chunk, and I get the Earthquake off. And I'm assuming, I'm not very familiar with Sharpedo's stats, but I'm assuming it's extremely frail, because I just took it out with one Earthquake, and I have absolutely no investment in attack. Anyways, I get some lefties, and he sends out his Nidoking. And I'm predicting the Ice Beam, so I switch out and bring in my Slowbro. But he actually goes for the Earth Power, which Slowbro is more defensive, and that does actually, like, a lot. But I get some lefties, and I don't want to take another Earth Power to the face, so I switch out and bring in my Flygon. And he goes for the Earth Power, and I decide to stay in to see if he'll switch. And after he switches, I'm pretty sure that he's Choice Scarfed, but I went for the Earthquake, and it was a bad play on my part. I should have gone for something else, but I go for the Earthquake, doesn't affect Yanmega. I switch out into my Galvantula because after seeing Team Preview, Galvantula's not really gonna help me in any way. He goes for the Air Slash, and I lived with 1 HP, but it doesn't really matter. He gets the speed boost, goes for another Air Slash, and that takes out Galvantula. I send my Flygon back out, because I know I can live whatever hit he's gonna try and deliver to me. And he goes for Bug Buzz, which takes me down to about a quarter of my HP left. A little bit, well actually that's like, it's less than a fourth, whatever. I go for the Fire Punch, which easily takes out the Yanmega. He sends out his Victini, and I'm locked into Fire Punch with the Choice Band, so I switch out and go into my Slowbro. And Regenerator gave me back some HP. He goes for the U-turn, And even though it's super effective, I'm physically bulky, so it doesn't do that much. And then he brings out his Hitmontop, and I am absolutely 100% positive that he's just going to rapid spin, because that's the only reason he would bring that thing out against me. So I take the opportunity to get a slack off, as he goes for the rapid spin. So, bye bye rocks, but I get the slack off and get my HP back up. And I know this thing absolutely cannot touch me except with Sucker Punch. So I'm basically just gonna sit here and Calm Mind until he switches. So yeah, Sucker Punch failed, I get a Calm Mind off. Yay. He goes for another Sucker Punch. After... Okay, now I'm back at full HP. He goes for another Sucker Punch, and I go for a Calm Mind. And right, I'm just setting up in his face right now. He's not doing anything about it. So I'm at +2 special attack and special defense. He finally switches into his Ambipom as I go for another Calm Mind. So now I'm at +3 special defense, special attack. Pretty close to untouchable because of my high defense too. He goes for the fake out. And that does a small chunk. My flinch and, whatever. But then he hits me with double hit, and that's well he missed with double hit as I get a slack off. He goes for a double hit, which hits, and that's insanely strong, but I'm defensive, so it doesn't do that much as I go for this Psyshock, which will easily KO this Ambipom, which had like 2 health left. But yeah. Now he brings out Victini, and I am just like, okay, you're gonna Bolt Strike me. And most people would cower in fear of a Bolt Strike. However, I am defensive, and that's not gonna touch me. I live pretty easily, get the Scald off, and at +3, that's gonna easily KO the Victini. So now he's down to his Nidoking, and I think it's just his Nidoking left. I don't know. But I probably could have stayed in and lived the Earth Power. Or anything, because I was at +3. But he goes for the Earth Power, which missed, and he switches again. And he brings out his Hitmontop, but I went for the Choice Banded Outrage, which isn't going to kill this Hitmontop, but it's going to do a serious amount of damage. He barely hangs on and gets some lefty recoveries, and then he goes with the Sucker Punch, which is going to take out my Flygon. I go back out into my Slowbro, which was just an absolute monster this game. He goes for the Stone Edge, fearing me to just set up in his face, but I go for the Slag Off, get all my HP back up. And he went for another Stone Edge. I guess he just doesn't want me setting up Calm Minds in his face, but I don't think it made a difference. So he goes for the Stone Edge, and that hits, but I'm physically bulky, and that's not going to do anything, as I go for the Psyshock and take out his Hitmontop. And now he's down to his Nidoking, which I'm still like thinking that this thing is scarfed. He goes for an Earth Power, and that does a lot of damage. and I go for the Psy Shock, which isn't going to kill it, but it's going to do a considerable amount of damage. So I just leave him in his fodder because I don't have anything that could take an earth power nicely, and just let him kill off my Slowbro. I'm sorry, Slowbro, you did amazing this game. You're a champ. So I go out into my Roserade, thinking that he's locked into Earth Power, but he goes for Ice Beam, and I was so scared. But I am max special defense, and I get the Giga Drain off, and that is going to be good game. So yeah, this was my first UU battle actually ever on Wi-Fi, but I hope you enjoyed. Comment, rate, subscribe if you're crazy enough, and I'll see you guys next video. Beat us out.